Do you want to become a more powerful conversationalist where people listen to you and you're heard? Well, we're going to look at 5 things you can do to become a more powerful conversationalist. Before we get started, hi, I'm Ajit. I'm from Capshine. Capshine is a revolutionary learn it together English fluency program. Through Capshine, learning English is easy, quick, fun, affordable, and effective. And we promise a whole new you in 6 months or less. So, why do you want to become a powerful conversationalist? Why do you want to build your conversation skills? Well, it's quite easy. The reasons are to create an effect when you meet people. So if you're a great conversationalist, they're likely to remember you more, they're likely to think that you're more high status or that you know what you're talking about, right? Those are good things or good impressions for people to have about you. Do better at work or in business. So being able to converse and be great at that is a very powerful skill in corporate or work contexts. And finally, if you like someone, getting through to them and making them like you back is a little bit easier if you are a good conversationalist, right? So let's see how we can do this. And we can see this through some very easy to follow steps. The first thing that you need to do is to be curious. What does that mean? Well, when there's something being spoken to you, right? When someone's talking to you, be involved in the story, right? In their story especially, not in what you're saying, but in what they are saying, right? And that's very important to be a conversationalist. Ask questions, don't lose eye contact, and nod or say something to acknowledge the person and what they're saying. So remember that being a great conversationalist is not just talking as a monologue, as just talking from your side, but in fact, using what the other person is saying, making them feel heard, and basing your conversations and building it on what they are saying. To show interest in what they say and genuine interest can lead to you becoming a great conversationalist. That's the first thing that you need to do. The second is to match the energy, right? If you're with someone who's very high energy, who's speaking, with a lot of gusto and zeal, try to match that energy so that they find you someone, or they find you to be someone who they can have an easy conversation with. If you go in very low energy and blah, then it's likely that they'll move on and not want to have a conversation with you. This is true for the other side as well. If you're with someone who has moderate energy, don't try to exert too much energy into the conversation. Don't go in very pumped. You want to moderate it to match their energy. So meet them where they're at. Don't sway from the topic they wish to discuss, right? Meet them in the topic as well. So be within that scope. If you're talking about vacations, for instance, maybe talking about foods that you like or things that you like to experience in, alcohol, that could be relevant, but talking about cats may not be. Don't sound low if someone offers high energy, right? That's pretty much the deal there. Before we go into the next few tips, I want to talk to you about Capshine's revolutionary learn it together model. Through this, you get access to speaking opportunities, you get to learn and practice as a group. You get a personal coach who gives you recommendation and a monthly feedback. This helps you understand where you are and what you need to do to go to the next level. And of course, access to daily micro lessons and live classes that can help you bolster your skills and become a powerful communicator. Great. So what are the few other things that we can do to become great conversationalists? The next thing is to mirror. And by this, I mean try to match not just their energy and what they're saying, but also the tone with which the person speaks. Use this also by imitating their body language to an extent and trying to repeat some of the words that they do, right? You don't want to do this in a creepy way, right? But trying to use similar kind of languages, repeating things that they say, phrases that they use can make you seem more likable, and they're likely to open up to you and have deeper conversations as well. Essentially, this shows that you're willing to accept them and willing to change the way you speak to be more like them, and that's a great thing when it comes to conversations, right? So mirror when you can at the appropriate situations. And of course, experience it with them. If they're telling you a story, if they're giving you an experience, if they're talking about something, try to show, or rather imagine yourself in their situation and try to show that through your actions. Display genuine emotions and share your feelings about what they told you. So if they spoke about a vacation and they said, they really hated having to wait in a queue in the visa, stamping place, and empathize. Say that, yeah, even I've been there. It was terrible. Add on to details. Right? There were people who were rude. I really didn't like that. In fact, the wait was fine, but the way people treated the visa officers was what I really disliked. So they know that you're not just listening for the sake of listening, but you're actively involving and engaging with what they're trying to say, and that you're invested in it. Your heartfelt questions would lead to better interactions, right? So be invested in the conversation, and this really, really helps. And finally, don't try to dominate. Do not try to bulldoze into conversations. Don't try to steal the spotlight and make everyone focus on what you're saying. To be a good conversationalist, you need to give others focus as well. It's more about listening and making others feel heard, and thereby getting them into that mode as a result. If you are expecting others to give you the spotlight and you're trying to steal it, you will not be a good conversationalist. So don't just keep speaking. Listening is equally important. Let them ask about you instead of you raving about your accomplishments, right? Let them ask and then you share it. Don't go in and say, hey, do you know I have this amazing company? Do you want to hear about it? No, let them ask you, and you can get into that conversation based on what they asked. Ask about them so they feel connected to you. Great. So what you'd realize is that to be a great conversationalist, it's not about speaking a lot or focusing on yourself. It's about focusing on others. It's about listening. And that's what really matters. If you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out the 30-day free trial with Capshine. You can do this by going to capshine.com and downloading the app from the Play Store. Thanks for watching.